Good afternoon, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like there's some bit chopping going on around St Aidan's. Today we're doing an alternative route down to Goose Green, and a couple of paths that I've not done on the live walks yet, so I'm going to give that a go. It looks like this could be the scene of our next walk and pick, which we'll be doing hopefully next week. Weather's not been too great, so I don't want to be bringing you out in the rain, so keep your eyes out for that. It's a bit blustery today as well, but the wind is warm. It's strangely warm. I think we might be due some thunderstorms at the weekend. Heading down from the shops, down the black path, crossing over at Melrose, so St Aidan's school fields on the right. There used to be another railway line actually that went straight through the middle of where the school is, a bit of a diagonal line down towards the black path, joining from a different colliery. I've had a little bit of work on over the past couple of days, so I'm keeping me busy doing bits and bats. Just finished the job this morning, so we're on to onto the walk. So this is walk number 42, and it's going to be an alternative route down to Goose Green. So just to get your bearings, the shops is that way. We've just come down the black path, and this is Melrose Drive, and heading further down the black path. If you've been watching before, you'll know that this path used to be one of the Winstanley colliery railways. So back in the day, carts used to come up and down this, all the way down from Beach Walk, so up past the school and further down again. I'll just give a couple of shout outs in a second. Good afternoon, Adele, and good afternoon, Lisa, and good afternoon, Victoria. You must be on your dinner break. Don't forget, if you've got any questions or comments, you can put them into the comments section or just say hello, and we'll start to navigate our way around. So just past the houses on the left, there's a little entrance to the field which we're going to take. This takes us onto the water treatment area for the coal board. It's quite lush and green at the moment. And as I said, it is a little bit windy, but the wind's quite warm. Blue sky over there. There's the wind. Around this field, you can either take the left path, which I did, or there's another one that straddles the black path and the trees there, all the way around, where you go straight through the middle. You want to be heading towards the water treatment, where the big lump is there. As you would have seen on some photographs, last few weeks from the likes of James and others. This was quite busy with large mounds of earth and slag heaps. So very different, not just 100 years ago, but maybe only 50 years ago or so. Or even less than that. Windsock on. Afternoon, you alright? Looks like James has just tuned in, Nicola, Amy. For some reason my comments aren't coming up, but I can see who's watching. So this is the bottom part of the water treatment. You can see the water is really clear there now. You can get a good shot of it. Looking very clean. Dot replies to Daniel. Used to be some good dues there to raise funds many moons ago. The scout hut that was there when I was 10. Yeah, so the scout hut and the community centre was to the right of the black path where we walked down initially, a little bit further down from where we got off. So you can just make this a nice little circular walk. You can go around the back of the water treatment there and follow the field all the way around and back to the start point. We're going to take a left. You've got two options here. You can go into Blundellswood and that'll take you to the steps at the back of Ravenswood Avenue or further along to Pony Dick. This is the service road track for the water treatment. Go all the way down to the bottom of this, and there's a bridge. I think it's been featured on a couple of walks. Cross over the bridge and you end up at Primrose Farm, the new eatery and bar. It's on Pemberton Industrial Estate. The comments are coming up now. How are we doing? There we go, I can see it now. James Hornby is training and watching. You lift them weights, pal? Or you got your new sparkling trainers on? Daniel Bailey says was mid-80s, 85ish. And good afternoon, Sharon. And good afternoon, Dot. What are you thinking about training, Daniel? You thinking about it? So if you guys remember a few weeks ago, this was part and parcel of the little dino tour that we did, the dino trail, and this was Claw Corner, which was found actually. We found Claw Corner that went walkies. So we're just taking a left off the main service path. You can see some of the electrics, but from what I can recall, when we used to walk the dog, there's a path down here, so if we see if we can find it and see if it's still clear. Might be quite overgrown, I don't know. Down there's Smithy Brook, running quite fast, you'd be pleased to know, James. It was a nice little woodland path that straddles the side of the brook, and it is a little bit overgrown, so you might need to duck and dive out the way. The trees are blowing there in the wind, but it's not hitting me. It's quite still actually down here. And there's a shot of Smithy Brook down there. Good afternoon, David Ashcroft. Dot Taylor, in response to Daniel, says training in your wellies. That'll be funny. Good afternoon, Helen. Daniel says, I'm going to go in the rower in the workshop after this. Well, if James Hornby has anything to do with it, you'll be able to row down Smithy Brook soon in a canoe. James has to lower the tone, doesn't he? Wellies and Mathon. Ha ha! So it looks like the main bulk of the path is pretty clear. We've not done this one on the walk yet. We've walked on the opposite side, which is also quite nice. Or a kayak, indeed. So the trees, there's quite a lot of young trees here. These are young oak, starting to grow nice and tall now. That must be around about 12 foot, 15 foot. But you've got oak, a lot of birch, silver birch. I don't claim to know any tree names whatsoever, and I'm kind of guessing here, but that's what it looks like to me. That's a silver birch there, isn't it? A couple of oak trees again. Got a runner. Hey, alright. Daniel's showing his age there. Remember this, when trees were like little weeds. There we go. Bad looks of it, another runner. So there's a couple of little paths you can take off this as well to get you down to Lady Lane. So Lady Lane's just kind of off the side of Clapgate Lane. There's a path off to the right of the bridge as we stand on it. And there's one off to the left as well, just over the stile there. But we can kind of cut through here. You can also scramble up the hill and onto the estate at the back of Foundry Lane up there, or you can head back into Blundellswood down that path. But we're going to take this route and go up to the top. I wonder if this is like a sister or a brother to the big stone or the meteorite that's at Springpool, James. What do you reckon? Could be. So that up there that looks like a bit of a flyover is just the back of the estate at Foundry Lane, of the new houses. Good afternoon, Susan, and good afternoon, Laura. James says them trees I was stood next to are only 4 foot tall, but they look massive on me. Getting tired of this. Halley's Comet, it might be. Good afternoon, Kylie. Thanks for tuning in. So again, today's walk is from the shops at Winstanley, and we're taking an alternative route down to Goose Green. Still don't know why it's called Goose Green. My best guess is there was an open patch of grass, and that geese used to be prolific on there, hence the word or the phrase Goose Green. But I could be completely wrong with that. Goose Green is actually a place though in, just take a little bit of a left. It's famous for the Battle of Goose Green, which was part of the Falklands War, I think in 1982, 100 years too early. Yeah, 1982 I think it was, the Battle of Goose Green. Goose Green's a place in the Falklands. Not related to Goose Green and Wigan at all. Bit of useless information for you there. So we're now on the open wasteland now, which seems to have a little bit of water on it after the rain in some of the trenches over there. The new estate feeding from Foundry Lane and then Primrose Farm, which we could stop at and have half a lager on the way around, but until it opens. Come off the main path now. So if you carry on up that track that we've just been on, you'll end up being faced with a set of gates that you can't get through, so there's a little diversion off to the left, and then you can come down the side of the fence line and then join the road. So this is part of the new business estate, Smithy Court. And there's Smithy Brook Road, which will take us down to Goose Green at the A49. Sounds like a hurricane. That's what it feels like. It's all the wind's being funneled down this road right now. Daniel says the road up here is called Queen's Pit on the left. Is that the left of the roundabout that we've just been next to? You could have a look at the new map. It's on the website. So if you go to the website and click on history, underneath that is the history map, and you'll see a new map with up-to-date information, and like a circle, like a spyglass almost. That'll, when you move it around the screen, zoom in, you can actually see what was once there on the map. So I hope people find that a useful tool. And maybe be able to find out what was on your plot of land where you live now, or what was near to it at least. It's one of the few ways we can kind of look back in time with accuracy. So I found it very useful, and I know James has, during the history tours that we've been doing and looking back in time. So give that a whirl and see what you think. The website's winstanleywalks.co.uk, and like I said, just click on the history button and you're halfway there. That's Beecham Court on the right. Looks like some of the businesses have started to open to a degree. But this road is going to form part of the new road network, which will take it from the centre of Wigan all the way up to the Oral Interchange at some point. Let's hope none of the walking paths or outdoor space is going to be affected by any of that in the long term. I can hope short term, but not the long term. James Lowe has been known as the Oracle, mate. You can just start to make stuff up, you know. There's a little bridge there to get onto the business park. Never noticed that before. So Smithy Brook is still with us, by the way, on the right hand side, just over the weeds over there in front of the trees, and we're going to cross over in a second. Traffic's busy. We've all been to McDonald's for the dinner. Right, so we're crossing over now. I'm going to join the A49 very briefly. So Goose Green on the map kind of straddles the A49 and is essentially the barrier between Hawkley and Worsley Mains on the left, and Winstanley. St Paul's is over there. Used to be a row of shops, I'm not sure if it's still there now, but this is the kind of the border where the new houses finish, the roundabout is. That's kind of the end of Goose Green, really. So Goose Green is all that part of the estate, all the way down to Marris Bridge on the left hand side. Looks like they put a new street sign up, but they've blocked off some information. So before they built the new road, Smithy Brook Lane, this used to be kind of a major junction here, really. It's all been blocked off now. So this is a little lane, and up there is what used to be Goose Green Labour Club. It's now inhabited by a window company. Goose Green playing fields now part of the Wigan Athletic Community Trust Soccer Schools and Winstanley Warriors FC. Matthew Molyneux says, hello from my house, I can see you just now. Hello. He's spying on me. Who else have we got? Oh, good afternoon, Pat, thanks for tuning in. Daniel says he fakes it till he makes it. Okay. And the shops are still going down St Paul's Avenue, Belton. So we're heading up a little lane now. This is turning into a circular walk. So if you wanted to do a little bit of off-road, as well as paving walking, this will easily kill an hour or so. I think some of these terrace houses are some of the originals from when they were built as part of the workforce for the coal mines. We're now passing Wigan Accident Repair Centre and Little Lane Veterinary Clinic. So Graham tells us just on your right at the bottom of Smithbrook Road used to be a vinegar factory. Was that across the road from Little Lane then? Is that where that was? In between? If you remember a while back we did this route, or something similar actually, and we went left where the to let sign is, just up on our left, to show you, or to try and show you, an old Victorian bridge that still exists from some of the railway lines, but it looks like it's been preserved. But there's a lot of stuff overgrown on there now, so can't really get to it. But I am in jeans today, so I wonder if I can see it. Let's have a look. If it was overgrown 4 weeks ago, it's going to be overgrown now. But got my protective jeans on. Oh, we can see it. Look at that. Looks like somebody's made a little path through. Belton. Look at that. So that's an old Victorian bridge that used to have a railway line on it. Pretty impressive. I think you probably could get closer to it, but I won't get the same sort of view, so I won't bother. I'll leave it for now. So that's just hidden in the trees there. It's amazing what you can find. Red clogs. I'm glad I've found that bridge now, because I did spend quite some time trying to find it in a pair of shorts, but because somebody's made a little path through, it's a little bit clearer. No chance of getting stung. So if you've lost your bearings, we're back at Primrose Farm now. We'll come off a little lane. And we're heading towards the roundabout. You're talking about the bridge there, Daniel. I did try that first time round with no success. It's mainly trees and quite dense brambles and things like that. It's really tough to get through, so I don't think you can get to it from that side unless you bring down your chopper. One thing that's worth checking out is on the history map that we put on the website last night. If you hover over this area, so between like St Matthew's Church and Primrose Farm, you'll see the vast expanse of railway lines and sidings that used to be here. Obviously using lots of different tracks, but huge amount. A lot of them going all the way down to Clapgate Lane and Lady Lane, that direction. A lot of them coming from Blundell's Wood direction. Even the one that starts from Beach Walk, the black path from the shops all the way down that we were on earlier on, eventually kind of led down to this kind of hub. And this was just a massive series of railway lines, and you can see it on the map. There must be, I don't know, 30 different lines, all kind of focused around here. And obviously you had the mill, which would have taken some of that, some of those lines in as well, no doubt. So we're back off road, and we're going to try and follow kind of an etched out path from one of the diggers that takes us to the entrance at Foundry Lane. It shouldn't be too wet here because it's been flattened out a bit. It's not too bad. It's warming up though. The wind's dropped. Like I said, it is quite warm out. Good afternoon, Karen. Yeah, cordless trimmer, Daniel, that's what you need. So I bet if we spent a bit of time on here and actually looked at some of the debris that's been left over from the mills and the pits and all kinds of things, I bet you'd find some interesting stuff. I bet a lot of it's been buried too, which is a shame, but we could do some kind of archaeological dig and potentially find something of interest. There's all kinds of things lying around the place, and maybe you find an old brick with a date on it, because they used to imprint the dates on some of the bricks. I'm guessing maybe further around, down towards the station, there might be even more of that stuff, because a lot of this, I guess, might be from some of the new houses that we've built. It's only a guess. Don't forget, you can find fossils in Winstanley, not ones that I put in the woods, but real ones. As James put on the other day, about the open cast site at Windy Harbour there. I found all kinds of different fossils at one stage, including sharks, shark fossils and things like that. Various teeth, backbones of fish, all kinds of things. It looks like weather's dropping in from the east over there. It looks quite bleak. But right now we've got a little bit of blue sky coming through, so it's quite nice. Watch you don't fall down that shaft. So you just mentioned the old coal washes, and again you'll be able to see those on that history map. The amount of buildings that surrounded this place, and the amount of industry and infrastructure that was here was amazing. So got a young biker coming across the stones over there. Dinosaur tracks. This is probably the best route. It's pretty dry, it's pretty flat. Are you alright? It is Winstanley Walks. How are you doing? You okay?
Thank you.
Where are you off to? Enjoy?
Yeah.
See you later. As always, folks, if you see me out and about, feel free to say hello. So there's another path that takes you off to the right and kind of up to the top of that mound, and you do get a really nice view from there. It used to be a little bit further down and higher, but the ground's been levelled that many times and built up that many times. I don't know whether you're coming or going anymore, but you can get to the opposite side of the field further down Little Lane just by cutting across in a different direction. But I think it's a little bit boggier down there because it's downhill, so get your wellies on, James. So heading up to Foundry Lane now. You can see the church in the background. As you'll remember from our history tour with James, we talked about the area and May Mill and things like that. There was also the Blundell Arms pub, which was just kind of in the centre of the screen over there. That had ball and green at the back and things like that. So this is Foundry Lane. I'm just going to head down now towards the entrance to Blundell's Wood and then back to the shops. James says Woodbuck Drive, born and bred. Sir Earl of Foundry Lane, James Hornby. Good afternoon, Phil. So remnants of Blundell's Wood and Blundell himself. There's Blundell's Court and Blundell Mews is that small cul-de-sac just there. Blundell Arms used to be situated just next to that, as I said, with the bowling green. And this was kind of the entrance to May Mill at one point. Huge mill with a large tower chimney kind of at the heart of it, which a lot of you will remember, but unfortunately it's before my time. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't fully developed to remember that kind of stuff yet. So this is the public footpath into Blundell's Wood at the rear of Ravenswood Avenue. Somebody put a post on earlier today that some of the trees have been taken down or trimmed along some of the footpath and the steps, and apparently the steps have been cleared, so it'd be interesting to check that out on the way down. Here's some evidence of the tree trimming. First off, a rather large pile of chippings over there, and not only that, this tree, which does not look safe whatsoever. How come they've left that there? You probably can't get the scale of that tree, but it is massive, and it looks like it's kind of fallen, but it certainly looks like it's been trimmed professionally. Anybody make anything of that? Don't know if I want to walk under it, to be fair. Oh, I'm risking it for a biscuit today, so let's go very quickly. You can see it's not balanced on anything. It's just kind of in the air and not budging one bit. it's certainly been done professionally. They've tidied up after themselves and they've made a nice mound of chippings over that way, but it just doesn't look stable anymore, that tree. Precarious, Daniel, that's the right word. So I hope that doesn't come down on its own. I hope it's brought down properly. I'll have to check that one out later. Have a word with a few people. Some of the logs that have been chopped up and things have been left down here. I think first and foremost deliberately. Some of the larger bits and pieces down there. You can see there's a fallen tree that's been there for some time, I think. But that doesn't look safe. So if that was to fall, it would probably land just around about here. So it would definitely cross over the path. But I'm not sure about that. Looks like some of the branches have actually fallen on the railing as well and bent them a little bit. Well, there we go. And somebody did say the steps have been cleared. Well, there's a few new leaves on there, but the steps are looking pretty good at the moment. They've all been cleaned up. So it should be less slippy. I wonder if all the walks that have been had by so many people have encouraged somebody to come out and clean these. So we started off our walk at Winstanley shops, went down the black path, past St Aidan's, crossed over at Melrose, a little bit further down the black path and onto the open field at the back, the water treatment facility, down the service road, and then a quick diversion off to the left into the wood, following the Smithy Brook. The path that way. Once we crossed the field, once we got down to the bottom of Primrose Farm, we followed Smithy Brook Lane to the A49 and then back up Little Lane across the open wasteland and onto Foundry Lane, back into the woods and back out again up the steps. So that's an alternative route if ever you wanted to get down to say Newtown or even Sainsbury's. Just make your walk a little bit more interesting, or you can just do a nice circular walk like that and head up to the shops. So we're just on Ravenswood Avenue now. That'll take us onto Melrose, up Edgware Grove and back to where we started. So we're gonna sign off for now, and we'll see you again for another walk very soon. Okay guys, have a great day, whatever you're doing, and remember, just in case, always bring a brolly. Okay, I'll see you again, bye for now.